What's up?
There we go. Watching that, it was good. You did that. That was great.
I really like the theme song, so I'm definitely going to stick with that from now on.
So do I.
And I made the song like 3 minutes long, so I can always pick and choose different sections I can use each week to kind of change it up a little bit.
That's great. That's great. So how are you?
Good. Just another day. Just another day.
Yeah.
How are you?
So we have some very cool people on here tonight.
Oh, we do. I am stoked to have them on. Two of my favorite people in the paranormal. They are amazing people, both in person, and just amazing people in general. And tonight, our guests are the Radikals, Danny and Lorraine Perez.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey guys, how are you?
Pretty good. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Right.
First things first, thank you guys for taking about an hour of your time to come on and chat with me. I know you guys very well. Two of my favorite people, as I said. So it's going to be a great show, I think.
Definitely.
Awesome.
So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into it because, I don't like wasting time. So we're going to jump right into this. So my first question for you guys is for those people out there that are seeing this for the first time, seeing you guys for the first time, who are the Radikals? How did you guys meet? Like what exactly do you guys do in the paranormal as investigators and archivists of the unknown?
Well, that's definitely a 3-part question, I think.
Go for it.
I told you I got a lot of multi-parts.
Yeah.
Danny and I actually met in 2017. Actually, we met online on Plenty of Fish, and he liked what I had to write. I said, hey, if you're brave enough, you can come on a paranormal investigation with me for your first date.
And that's what I used to do in my spare time anyway. So it was like, hey, this is perfect. Plus, she had a picture. Yeah. Plus, she had a picture with Peter Mayhew, the guy who played Chewbacca. So I was like, oh, geez.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, and then from there.
Then we met for the first time and went to Old Sturbridge Village, which is now our favorite haunt. And how did we get in? Well, Danny's been in the paranormal forever.
Well, not forever, since the 80s. For me, it started as a kid. There was this old movie called The Black Cat. It was it's an Italian film. And in it, there's this elderly gentleman who would take an old reel-to-reel tape recorder and go out to graveyards and just record. And he would communicate with the dead. And I was like, well, I have a Radio Shack cassette deck. Like, can I do this? And so I started doing this kind of thing. And then, one thing led to another, and I'm hearing things that I didn't hear. But then again, I'm skeptical, and on and on and on. Then I got into the music business, and the audio kept going. And it just snowballed. And now what do we do now?
We house objects that have caused problematic items in our home.
We tend not to call them haunted. We tend not to call them cursed because the skeptic in me. I can't prove whether or not they're haunted, can't prove whether or not they're cursed, but we can prove that wherever they go, they cause problems. So we call them problematic.
Yep.
We help families. We help families in need, people in need.
Mhm.
We never charge for what we do. We work with various demonologists and exorcists, paranormal teams,
Yep.
Mostly residential people that are just
Yeah.
have nowhere to go.
98% of what we do is residential.
Yeah.
I
Going on,
can't
Russ?
see
You
it.
guys see.
Can't really read it.
He said he didn't have this on his 2025 bingo card. And I saw you
Oh,
say
boy.
hi, Herbie. I saw you say hi, Morgan. I saw you say hi, Ropac.
Hey, everyone.
So you guys have been doing this for quite a while. As far as taking in, I had actually listed it as troubled items, not haunted.
No, that
So-
works too.
Yep.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
because I don't necessarily believe an object can be haunted, in my personal opinion. But do you remember the first object that ever came into your possession?
Yes. It was a Ronald McDonald action figure.
Oh gosh. That
No.
one.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
From the 1970s.
Oh yeah.
The story with that is it was said to be a trickster by the person who gave it to me. Every time it would get thrown away, it would come back. It would reappear and just in a different place, in a
Mhm.
different day, and just like,
Mhm.
wait a minute, that was in the
Mhm.
trash. Why is it? Why is it on the kitchen
Mhm.
counter now? What's the matter, Lord?
She
got a
doesn't
story?
like it, I don't think.
You got a
Well,
story?
when we first started dating, he had it on top of one of the cases, so it wasn't housed or anything.
Nope, sitting on top of the barrister bookcase.
Yeah, sitting on top of the bookcase, and all of a sudden one day I was just like, "Dude, that thing moved. Can you like put it away somewhere?" And he did. He put it away, and it's been put away for a while
it's
now.
been
Well,
in a
since then,
case now ever since
for 8 years.
yeah.
So,
It's right next to the problematic candy.
oh, the candy,
Yeah.
the candy, yes, the haunted candy.
Haunted candy. I've not heard this story yet.
We did a case out near us, and it happened to be a woman whose significant other. She actually passed away on the toilet.
On the toilet, yeah.
But the woman used to eat candy, and it was lifesavers.
Obsessively
Like,
with
obsessed-
like everywhere
yeah.
she went. The candy was, I believe, on the side of her when she died on the toilet.
Yeah. And they're like, you need to get rid of the candy. You need to take the candy away.
We believe it's she's attached to it
To it,
somehow,
yeah,
whatnot,
somehow.
whatever. So we're like, well, let's just see what happens. We'll remove
Yeah.
the candy. We'll keep in touch, and every day we'll get back. And she's like, since you took it, everything's
It's
been
fine.
normal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, we actually had a team member actually eat one of those pieces of candy.
We did. Yes, he's no longer with us.
No,
No, I'm kidding.
on the team.
I'm
On the team. He's still
Oh,
alive.
okay.
That was
Danny.
good. That was
Hey.
good. See, Gwen, this is why I love these people.
I can't wait to meet you guys in person. I hear I've never heard anything bad. Let me say. I've heard
There's nothing bad to
glorious-
say.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
That's
nice.
what I'm saying. And
Thank
a matter
you.
of fact, Matt Brown told me, "Oh, you'll love them. You're gonna love them." Lee had
Oh,
already
Matt's
told me.
awesome. Yes.
So yeah, so for Matt to say that is a huge compliment. Huge.
Oh, that's
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on, I got a question for you both individually. Danny, I'm going to go with you first, and then Lauren, I got a
Oh,
question
great.
for you. So Danny, you're kind of like me, where you have a very healthy skeptical side about the paranormal and things that happen.
Mhm.
With doing what you do and collecting all these objects and going on paranormal investigations, have you ever been in that one specific moment where something occurred and you just stopped and you were like, realistically, how can I explain this?
A few times.
Mhm.
A few times, and it's very puzzling and annoying to me personally, because it's but then in my mind I'm like, okay, well, maybe I am just scientifically stupid enough not to be able to rationalize that. Maybe I mean, it takes a while. What, Lauren's okay? It can take a while for technology to catch up, or science to catch up with nature.
Sure.
We, in one of our books, Supernatural versus Supernatural, 2 words, we use the experiment of a cell phone. Now, if you take your cell phone, it's natural to us, completely natural. But if you go back 200 years, you're a witch, because they don't understand it. They have
Very
no
true.
idea, and it's just it's not going to end well for you. And that's where those moments where I'm like, okay, maybe that's what it is. Maybe I just, I can't rationalize it, but maybe down in the future I can. So, and it's happened a few times, and it's troublesome to me. I mean, you saw me that one time. I was crying like a freaking baby.
Which time?
Winchendon.
Oh God, yeah.
That was a troubling. That changed my life, and I don't know what happened. I mean,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have you guys ever received an item and said, "Wow, I can't bring that around anyone"? That was a question.
boy.
That was a question from one of our listeners, one of our watchers.
That's a really good question. There's a couple items that we that don't leave the house just because of the history and what they are. They probably shouldn't be viewed
around
in
the public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have there are limits.
Really?
Interesting.
Yeah. But if you want to come over and see them, that's fine.
Oh, you already know I plan on making a trip there to see this place, because I've got to see some of the stuff in person. Let me tell you, I thought Ian was messing with me probably about 3 weeks ago, a little longer ago, about a month actually. I had a milk crate in my closet that I stored my snacks in on the floor.
Okay.
Right? So I'm sitting in bed. I wake up at about 2 a.m. and I hear this movement in the closet, and I'm not sure what it is. I got up, turned the light on, movement instantly stopped. I went and looked in the closet, nothing looked out of place. Shut the light off, went back to bed, laid down. About 5 minutes later, I'm about to fall asleep, and I hear the noise again. This happened probably 3 or 4 times in a row.
Wow.
I finally get up, and that's when I realized there was a corner of the chip bag sticking out of the milk crate, and there were little mouse bites in it.
Okay.
So good example of sometimes it might
Yes.
seem paranormal, but that doesn't necessarily mean it is.
See,
Exactly.
and sometimes on these residential cases, we will use baby powder, and people, a ghost going to leave tracks? No, but rodents will.
Exactly.
And we can rule that out.
And that's always a good tool. I mean, it's a little bit of a pain to clean up, but
It is.
Yeah.
but it works well. It works great. So, Lauren, with your abilities that you have, because I know you're sensitive, with your abilities that you have, is there an object that is in your house that you try your best to avoid at all costs because you just don't want to go near it because of how it makes you feel?
Oh, hell yeah. I can tell you exactly which one it is, and you've seen it before.
What is it?
It's the Inkisi.
Oh.
I
I
don't
forgot
like
about
that thing.
Yeah.
I don't like being around it. I don't.
She's looking at it right
respect
now in the corner of her eye.
Yeah, I respect it because of what it is, but I will not touch it. I don't like being around it. No.
Yeah, see, I had forgotten about seeing that thing, and it was, I'm not gonna lie, it's not the it's creepy.
It is.
Yeah.
Not something that, there's not a lot that I wouldn't bring into my house, but that would probably be on the list.
See, it's not just me.
Yeah, no, and
No.
It's weird because with her being a sensitive and me being like skeptical of the paranormal in a sense, she freaks me out. She freaks
Just what
me
you love
out.
to hear coming from your husband.
No, because like there are when we go into these cases, she goes in almost all the time blind, where like she doesn't know the history, she doesn't know what we're going into, what we're walking into.
I love that.
And that's and we do this thing like when you hear an EVP or a voice or whatever like that, we don't say what it is, we don't call it out, we write it down because of audio pareidolia. That way we can find out whether or not ours match up without the influence of saying it. And she will come up with stuff that's just, she has no idea, she should not know, and it's like, how the hell did you get that info?
But it's not even just on cases, though. We were in Disneyland.
Oh, that was wild. Yes. We were waiting in queue at the Haunted Mansion, and all of a sudden the people next to us,
they're into the paranormal, and we're like, oh, well, we gave him one of our cards and everything, and he goes on and tells them that, I freak him out and stuff like that. And so we tell him that I'm able to do psychometry. And so he goes, okay, And she's like, "Oh, babe, here, give me your ring. Give me your ring." So she took his ring and she gave it to me. And I held on to the ring and I said, "It's very old. It's Native American. And it's a grandfather, great grandfather. And he's very proud of you. And he's standing right beside you." And
This guy's like a tattoo artist, and he was freaked out.
yeah,
He was just
covered in tattoos.
He's like, everything that you just said was exactly it. He's like, we've never met. We don't know each other.
No
I mean,
clue.
we're from Connecticut. We're in California, and they were locals. So it was
Yeah.
like, it was really
It was
freaky.
Yeah. I freak myself out sometimes.
Creepy. She's just creepy.
Yes, Herbie, that is true. Disneyland is rumored to be haunted. You will be
Yes.
shocked how many people go there and spread ashes from people who never got to go. When they finally had a chance, they bring their loved ones in a little baggie, and they would spread it. By the way, if they catch you doing that at Disneyland, it can warrant a lifetime ban. So I
Yes,
wouldn't
it
recommend
will.
doing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
We also
But,
had a question earlier. Have you ever refused an item?
No.
Never.
If
They-
it's causing trouble or causing problems,
It's
would
our-
be
it's our
better to be
duty
with
to,
us.
to get rid of it, to hold on
And-
to it.
yeah.
If we have a
Absolutely.
separate building from the house where, if we need to, we can contain it in that separate building away from our living.
yes.
Yeah, I know that the only time I've not seen them take an item was when I brought Ian with me, but I don't think they realized how big the case actually was.
Yeah,
we didn't have
the
enough room.
The casket in the back of the car was taking up all the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let me tell you, I felt so uncomfortable driving back from Salem, having him in the car.
Oh.
I felt uncomfortable having him in the car driving there.
Oh
Did
boy.
you have any car issues?
No, I didn't. Other than one time when my air conditioner was on, my heater was blowing out hot air, not air conditioning.
Wow.
Hmm.
And that only happened for like a half an hour. It was like the last half an hour of the trip.
Oh, wow.
Geez.
Excuse me.
Maybe he was tired of driving.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
So Lauren, you bring the sensitive aspect to your team.
Mhm.
Danny, you bring knowledge and skepticism. Because you strike me as one of those people that I can honestly say is probably one of the more knowledgeable people that I know. So one of the reasons I do respect you, because you know how I am when it comes to research, history, knowledge, and all that good stuff. So how do you guys feel like your specific skill sets play off of each other in an investigative standpoint?
Wow. Well, from being the fact that, I can sense things, clairvoyant, and I also have, other certain abilities, and Danny plays off of it. Like, he'll give me a piece of the bark of a tree and say, "What do you feel?"
Yeah.
And then I usually end up getting nauseous.
I think we kind of keep each other in check.
Yeah.
The
The yin
checks
and
and
yang.
balances. It's the whole thing. It's like, where I don't say that, it's BS. I think anything is possible, just not probable. So it's like, okay, let's take what she's saying and let's run with it and see where it goes, and then see if we can add some scientific value to it to figure out. I mean, we had one case where he was recording poltergeist activity kind of thing with the lights and everything, and we got there with our kits. The first thing we do is a scientific sweep. We have electrical testers to test the power lines and things like that, radon testers, all kinds of regular stuff, and that ended up being
A blown fuse.
it was a blown circuit.
Yeah.
But there was more to it after that, which she picked up.
Yeah.
It was more to it, but that was the baseline. And yeah, so we keep each other in check, basically. Yeah, it's nice.
That's great.
So Herbie wants to know, has anyone ever given you guys an Ouija board that gave you any kind of problems? Or has anyone ever given you guys a Ouija board that they said had given them problems? I apologize.
Oh God, yes.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
We've got quite a few.
We got a few of them.
Yeah. One of them is it's on a napkin.
Oh yes.
A little girl was making a Ouija board, and she made it on a napkin. They were at a restaurant, and they were eating. It was one of those places where you have the tortilla chips as you wait and kind of thing, like a Chili's kind of deal. And she thought it was cool, and she poked a hole in the tortilla chip to make it like a planchette. And she was talking, and her mom started to get a little uncomfortable and stuff. And I don't have the thing on me at the moment, but do you remember the name of the girl she was talking to?
I thought it was Samantha.
It might have been Samantha. I don't know off the top of my head, but she was talking to Samantha, and Mom freaked out because Samantha was her daughter that was before her that didn't make it. It was stillborn.
Yeah.
So Mom freaked out and everything, and we actually, it's in a case over there
Yeah.
somewhere. There's a few
We've
boards
got a few.
that are,
We've actually got a board that someone gave to us that they tried to burn, but the board wouldn't burn.
I've actually encountered that.
Oh, yeah.
so they buried it, and when they buried it, the well went sour
Yeah.
because they
I've
buried it
encountered that.
not too far from the well where they buried it.
Yep.
And the person that was using the board committed suicide while using it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, we've got a few of them.
Yeah.
I own 3 of them personally. 2 of them are still at my ex's house in the storage shed because she doesn't like having them there, so I leave them there. I know that's kind of a dick move, okay? But yes, that's why I left them there. And of course, I've got this one.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was showing me that one. Mhm.
Uh-huh.
So, this one was made by Danny.
Yep.
So
That it
I
was.
love this board. It stays right back here. It's on display on every single one of my podcasts.
That's awesome.
I keep the planchette separate because I'm superstitious about leaving the
Yep.
planchette on the board.
No,
Nothing wrong with
it's
that.
fine.
So this is made from coffin wood, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
We've teamed up with a casket company here in Connecticut, and we take the hearse up to the factory a couple times a year. And we get all our wood from them.
Yep.
Because why not?
So that actually answered the next
Wow.
question I was going to have. I was going to ask, how in the world does one acquire coffin wood?
You just have to know the people. And
Yeah.
we're lucky enough. Connecticut has a lot of weird stuff like that. Not far from us, we've got a casket company, and we've also got one of the biggest hearse companies in America. So
Hence
Interesting.
the reason why we have 3.
So this is more of a curiosity from my aspect because I don't think I ever asked. I noticed that whenever I see you guys at events and stuff, you typically have business cards for something called the Gravediggers Union.
Mhm.
Mhm.
What exactly is that?
Gravediggers Union is basically our merch side because we don't charge families for investigations and things like that. So Gravediggers Union is going to eventually be the full platform where we use it while we're vending, but it's
Yep.
going to be the platform where you can buy our books online, other than Amazon, as well as like some of the photography that we do, the homemade peanut butters and
The butters and
all
all
that kind
that
of
stuff.
Yeah.
But the other thing
Excellent
is too
pickle.
is
Thank you.
thank you. The other thing is that the Gravediggers Union is also our hearse. We want to start a hearse
A hearse club
club.
where people in New England can get together and hang out with their hearses and have and like tailgate and have a band play and kind of thing. Just hearsing around.
See, that would actually be an awesome slogan for it. We're just hearsing around.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. So I looked into buying a hearse at one point, and
Mhm.
unfortunately, it fell through. But yeah, I would love to have one because they look so comfortable to ride in. I'm just going to be honest.
It's
Yes, they
like
are.
driving a lazy boy recliner. Oh.
So
See,
comfortable.
that's what I'm talking about.
The only problem is anytime you have a mechanical issue, if it's anywhere behind the front seat, everything back there is custom, so it gets a little expensive.
Yeah, a little
fast.
pricey.
Oh.
Yeah,
Ooh, that I could see.
yeah, and
So-
the chassis is a truck chassis.
But the other thing is too, Nate, is that if you do buy one, don't really get it off of Facebook or
If
any
you can help it.
marketplace or anything like that. Get it from a reputable dealer or a funeral home or something like
You
that.
get a lot of people that tend
Yeah.
to like beat on them and thrash them and things like that and burn out, and then you end up getting their leftovers.
Yeah, no, the one I was looking at was a local funeral home out of Manchester.
Oh wow!
Oh, okay.
So I didn't get far enough into the inquiries as far as being able to see it in person, but it looked to be in good shape. It didn't have
Yeah.
bad mileage.
Nice.
It was an older one. I think it was like mid 90s, so it was an
Okay.
older one. But I kind of like the classic style look to it, so
Yeah.
that's why I was going for it. But
Yeah, without a
unfortunately, it fell. It fell off. It is what it is. I'll get one
Hey.
eventually.
There's always
Yeah.
tomorrow.
I mean, I have a little Hot Wheels one.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
We've got what I took a
First
Hot Wheels
step.
one. I turned it into a Christmas tree ornament.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh,
So we were talking about the Ouija boards earlier. I know that when I went to the Paracon, I saw a planchette that was made, out of a very unusual material.
Yes. That would probably be the human scapula bone.
It was.
Shoulder blade. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that way you're using the dead to contact the dead.
Yeah.
I have a scapula guy. I call him up and say, hey, I need a scapula. He's like, all right, it's coming your way.
It's so awesome.
And it's all legal. It's all there. There are a few no states that you have to stay away from. My guy's from a regular no state, so that's good.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah, go ahead.
It's not the first one ever made. There's other people have made them in the past and whatnot, but I had one and I was like, hey, that's like the perfect shape. Let's do it.
I said, okay.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I was like, is that bone? I had heard a rumor that you were making one. And the rumor was never solidified for me. And then I finally saw it and I was like, he did do that.
Yes, he did.
I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want it.
I've got another one I'm starting to work on.
So you just happen to have one.
Look, he happens to have a lot of strange things.
They pop up from time to time.
I'm one of them.
Yeah.
All right, is that a kitty? Gwen, is that a kitty that you have?
That's okay. He's an old boy. He's old. He's a chihuahua, but he's very old. He's 4 years old.
Oh, so cute. Makes me miss Bella.
I know.
He's a little guy. Hopefully he will be in Connecticut with us. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, good.
Very cool.
Yeah, the only pet I have is Mouthy. He doesn't require much. He doesn't require much. I don't have to feed him. Don't have to water him.
Well, there
you go.
It works out for me. But yeah, so touching back on something we discussed earlier about how you said, sometimes her abilities freak you out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The same thing happens with me and Morgan from time to time. She will tell me things, and I'm I didn't believe in psychics, period, until I met her.
Uh-huh.
And the first time we met, we were on the USS Salem, and we were walking through the ship, and I had done all my prior research like I typically do. And she starts asking me questions, and I'm like, yeah, you're hitting pretty close on that. You're hitting pretty close on that.
Yeah.
Well, so the next conversation that we had, and I think it was like 3 days after the event, maybe a week after the event, I sent her a text. And I was like, look, it's been bugging me. How much of that did you Google before you went on the ship? I felt like it was a legitimate question.
No, I get it completely.
And she was like, I didn't Google anything. So, there is times that I can understand getting freaked out by it, because when they hit so close on things and you're like, how is that actually possible?
There's a few people, and you make notes of those people, and she is one of them. I remember we were at in Salem at the Airbnb, and she was doing some readings there. Morgan was, and she was pretty on the money there. I was just like, wow, all right. So it's like, all right, there's someone else that freaks me out. All right.
And she also had also mentioned the fact of possibly acquiring Ian at some point, the clown with the broken foot, before I even acquired Ian.
Oh wow,
wild.
That's interesting.
So,
jeez,
I can't explain it. I've gotten to the point where I just don't explain it.
Here, pick these 6 numbers for me.
Yeah. I actually threatened to get.
We know that doesn't work.
I actually threatened to get a set of Zener cards because she wants me to practice with her, and I'm like, yeah, we can practice. Let me go get some Zener cards, and she's like, no, it doesn't work like that.
We've got a set of those cards, and we use them once in a while and things like that, and different colors, and try to develop psychic abilities.
Hey, you know what? I've got a book.
She said she wished she got the numbers.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Morgan actually got me a book called "Picture Yourself Heightening Your Psychic Abilities."
Oh, cool.
Because, there you go.
It's actually a college curriculum book from back in the 70s when the University of California offered a PhD in parapsychology.
Nice.
I have all 4 books that were part of the curriculum.
That's awesome.
The 4th one was the one that I was missing, which is the one that she got me. So I'm going to read that because she thinks I have some kind of abilities. I have a habit of having dreams, and then they come true like a few weeks later.
Guilty.
Oh, jeepers.
Guilty.
Pro.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
one of those, like you said, those events that that made me like upset or whatever, stuff like that you were asking me earlier, that changed me or whatever. One of those was a dream thing.
Oh yeah.
My ex-wife, first ex-wife, she's number 3.
I'm not the ex-wife though.
No.
Don't say the ex.
Yeah, but the first ex-wife, her father and I were always close, and he was an amazing guy, and we kept in contact over the years and things like that, because I still wanted the best for her and things like that and whatnot. And we talked. His name was Rudy, really great guy and everything. And I hadn't talked to him in a little while, and I was with Lauren at the time. We were
we were dating
for quite a while.
Yeah.
And I had this dream of Rudy, and I was like, I woke up and I was like, oh man, I gotta get a hold of him. I hadn't talked to him in a while. But in the dream, he was laying in a bed, and he's going like this, and he's like, oh man, it's my heart, man. It's my heart. He's like, you remember those times I worked on your piece of crap car, and we did this and we did that? And then he looks over to the side of the room, and he's like, over there. He's like, that's Phil. Phil's over there. Phil's his son, good friend of mine. Always, he still calls me his brother-in-law to this day. And he's like, you got to keep an eye on Phil. Keep an eye on Phil for me. It's going to hit him the hardest. And I woke up puzzled, and I was like, wow, that's just, I haven't talked to him in a couple of weeks or a month or so. I got to get a hold of him. I woke up around 2 a.m., around 6, 7 a.m. in that same morning. On Facebook, there was a post that he had just passed away. Like literally, they pulled into the restaurant, he put it in park, and his heart gave out. And I couldn't process that. I couldn't handle it. Lauren actually found me in the fetal position on the kitchen floor,
crying,
trying to process.
Yeah, it was one of the scariest moments, because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know if he was hurt. Or, you know.
I just, to this day, I mean, I don't know what to make of that. And I have these dreams every so often. And I approached his wife with it and his family, and they're like, listen, he trusted you, and he wanted to say goodbye to somebody. He picked you, and keep an eye on Phil.
That's special.
That's the best message. That's the best message you can take from it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only one that has that happen. It's not often. It's like maybe once every 6 months or so. Something will happen, and I'll wake up and be like, man, bro, that was fucking weird.
It's crazy.
2 or 3 days later, exactly what I saw, it happens, and I'm like, why? How?
Yeah.
Why? What was what correlated this to that? I don't know. It's
Yeah.
Now imagine living your life like that all the time.
Yeah, I don't think I could do that.
That's crazy, right?
It is.
I do it at work. I do it at home. It's just normal.
Yeah, a lot of people, they refer to stuff like that as, precognition, I guess you could.
Yes.
How you put it. And I've also heard people misinformedly refer to it as deja vu. It's not technically deja vu.
Right. It's not. Yeah.
But yeah, it's freaky nonetheless, and I don't like it. So
it's wild. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it. So, well, I've got you on the show because this is one of my favorite stories. I look forward to you telling it every single time, and you should have already seen that I was going to ask you to tell this story. For those out there that have not had the pleasure of hearing it, could you tell us the Jeffrey Dahmer and the leftover?
I was
Chinese
waiting
food
for
story?
it. I was going to say the fork.
You want to start with that, Lauren?
It's one of my favorites.
Okay, so everybody
Hollow,
knows Sleepy Hollow, New York. Oh, that story.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
But you can tell how we acquired.
Well, we acquired it because somebody that Danny knows, of course. He acquired all.
People.
I know. Sometimes I just say, "Yep, okay." I'll let it go. But they gave this person acquired all of the items that were put into police lockup from Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment, and it's called Murderbelia. And he knows that we were doing working with psychometry and trying to figure out things. And he says, "Hey, I got something for you." And Danny messages me and he says, "Hey, how do you feel about getting one of these things, and he showed me a fork.
Yeah, one of the forks that was used in his apartment. Now, the thing is, a lot of the stuff in the apartment was destroyed and things like that and whatnot. But in a crime scene, when you get the certain evidence and things like that that were possibly used in the crime, they can't be destroyed.
Right.
Hence the silverware and all that kind of stuff, because he was a little civilized, I guess, when he was eating them and used silverware instead of his hands. But so we had gotten it, and we didn't have a case for it at the time because we just didn't. And we were heading to Sleepy Hollow for a convention to do a presentation on things. We have a human skull that was used in black mass rituals as well. Yes. So we're like, you know what, let's put the fork inside that case and it'll travel with it because, you know, it's not loose. I mean, it's just a regular fork. So
regular.
we do the presentation and everything, and all goes well, and it's now the night's done. We're in the hotel room and we have Chinese food. It's 2 a.m. and we have no silverware.
And the thing is, it was lo mein.
It was lo mein, yeah.
So he's sitting at the desk and he sees the fork and the skull, and so he takes the fork and he's holding it in his hand. He's looking at the fork. He's looking at the food.
And then I look over at her because she's on the couch in the bed over there. Because I'm at the desk.
Don't you dare!
She's just looking at me. She's like,
"No."
I don't think you said a word. She was just like, her eyes expressed every emotion there was.
It's like this will end in divorce.
But I'm like, it's 2 a.m. We had a long day. When we do events, I do not eat the entire day. That's just my thing. I don't.
There's a lot of things you don't do.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah.
I did notice that anytime I've seen you at an event, you don't eat the whole time you're there.
No, I don't eat before a gig. I don't eat during a gig. It's something I've always done when I was playing out on music and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just a personal ritual that I have. It keeps me, the whole starving artist thing, I think better that way. So it's 2 a.m. and there's the lo mein, but it's messy and I don't have silverware, but yeah, I do. So I'm looking at Lauren. I look at the lo mein. I look at the fork. I look at Lauren. She's still doing the no thing. And I look at the fork and I'm like, I turn the fork over. And on the back side of the fork is a piece of what I could only call a speckle of biomatter. It's just like a freckle of like.
It was more than a freckle.
Skin or something, or I don't know, a stain. Let's just say a biomatter stain.
God.
And then I think to myself, you know what? This was crime scene evidence, so they didn't clean them.
He used his hands.
I ended up just, that was the bad idea.
The thing is that I've actually held that fork 3 times.
Yes, you did.
And the last time that I actually held the fork in my hand, we were at a retirement community. People asleep and the dentures are coming out of their mouth.
We're doing a Halloween adventure for the elderly
community.
It was awesome.
And I almost hit the floor and threw up at the same time. And Danny's just like, why don't you give me the fork?
I'm just looking at her. I was like, it's the fork, isn't it? And she's like, like, bring it back.
Yeah. Every time I hear that story, I don't think I will ever get tired of hearing that story.
Yeah, it was an interesting night.
Definitely. Quickest marriage ever.
So before we start touching on, I see we're running at about 20 minutes left. Before we start touching on your book series and stuff that you guys have been working on, because I know you guys have several books out, which I definitely want to push those and promote those. Yep. Danny, is there an object that is in the house that you choose not to go near or makes you uncomfortable to go near? I doubt it, but I'm going to ask.
No, just Lauren. No, honestly, I don't think there's. I feel like if you throw fear at them, you're going to get fear back. Any of these items and anything in general in life. I mean, you manifest what you get. You wake up in the morning, say you're going to have a crappy day. Chances are you're going to have a crappy day. And so if I go into those objects or anything that's surrounding us or above us or any other building with that attitude, then I'm setting myself up for that.
You're also talking to a guy who drives a hearse.
I would if I could.
True.
I figured it didn't hurt to ask. You never know.
Yeah.
Right. No,
No.
that's a great question.
No,
But
I don't think.
I
As Danny has taught me well, as long as you respect the items and respect the stories, and we tell the stories as a respect for the objects
to them. Yeah.
Yes.
We spread awareness by telling their stories and
Mhm.
their adventures and things like that. And in a sense, it's a good way of containment.
Yeah,
Yes,
They're
and I
not-
like that.
It is.
I like
They're
that
not-
theory.
They're not forgotten.
exactly.
Right. And I like
They
that
haven't-
theory because oh, go ahead.
They don't die the second death.
Yeah. Being forgotten.
for
Second
being
death.
forgotten.
I like that.
Right.
I like that. So yeah, because Danny, you know, part of the reason I was going to get rid of Ian is, well,
Mhm.
not really get rid of him, because technically you do a loan style company. If anyone wants their objects back, they can have them back, correct?
Right. What we do, we always tell people, we don't maintain ownership of the items. We house them until, or if you ever want them back. And in 21 years, no one's ever come back.
No one.
It's always
See?
just a drop off and run away kind of deal.
Well, you can be rest assured that once you do take Ian, I will be back for Ian.
There you go.
Okay.
So I'll be the first one to ever come back for an item. 'Cause I
Yeah,
don't want to get
awesome.
rid of him.
Right.
It's just the
Right.
fact
I want
that, yeah, no. But yeah, so Danny knows kind of like the
I do.
backstory. My brother is extremely chlorophobic. My brother hates clowns, and he wants the clown in his room. He wants the clown doll. So it got to the point where I kind of felt like if there was something attached to it that could be, a troubled spirit or something, then maybe it was trying to play on his fear to gain comfort.
Definitely
Trying
could
to
be.
find a way for him to invite him, to invite it into his space, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
it got to the point where I told Ian straightforward. I opened up his case and I yelled at the back of his head because I don't touch him. I don't turn him around. I don't touch him. I opened the back of his case and I was like, "You fucking stop it now. I'm tired of it. Leave him alone." And he's not asked about it in about 2 months.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know if-
Just be careful.
Oh, definitely. That's why I keep him where
Yeah.
I keep him, because right now he's completely blocked in. No one can get to him but me.
Mhm.
There you go.
Just as a precaution. And I
Yeah.
do bless I
Yeah.
bless the outside of the case with holy water just in case, even though I'm not really a firm believer in holy water. I do it anyways as a precaution.
It can't hurt.
No, it can't. Yeah.
Yeah, and I sage the
You wear
inside of the
gloves
case
too,
like once every
right?
6 months. Do what, Glenn?
You wear gloves too?
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
you?
If I
you
do
handle
touch
them
him,
for
yes,
any
I would.
reason?
Yes, if I do touch him, I wear gloves, and I actually put a little bit of Florida water on the gloves. So
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Right.
yeah, I always keep my Florida water, and I always keep my holy water right here by my bedside,
There you go.
unless I'm on a case, in which case it goes with me.
Right.
But yeah, I never touched that particular object without gloves on. I don't mind touching my vial of soil from Vlad Tepesh's castle. I don't mind touching that. I don't mind touching the other objects that I've got, but that one in particular, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
If that's the way you feel, go with it, man. Completely.
Being smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, Morgan wants to take him out of the case. And I
No,
was like,
Morgan.
well, I was like, I want you to wear gloves if you do this. And she's like, but what if the gloves prevent me from feeling anything? Because she's never really, I guess you could say, tested psychometry before.
Okay.
And I don't think it's a good object to start on.
Oh, heck no. No.
Oof.
Start small.
Oh, she's gonna boop his nose.
Oh,
She's going to boop his nose. Oh, boy. Yeah, boop.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah,
may not go well.
Uh-uh.
you
No.
you might want to take Lauren's advice. I mean, Morgan, I'm not going to stop you from, I should stop you from doing it, but I'm not going to because I don't want to get beat up.
Start small, Morgan. Start small.
So
Dominus
let's get into
hibiscus.
let's get into this book series you guys have, like all the books you guys have written.
Yes.
I've got mine here. I know you guys also have a line of children's books too, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
So
We've
I
got
would love to
a
discuss that further, because I've not personally been able to get my hands on one of those. I've not read one yet, but I think that's a great idea. I think it's a great concept to get children interested in this field.
Yeah. Well, we have the younger children's books. It's actually based on a character, and his name is Count Fangula, who is a little boy vampire. And it goes through all different kinds of things. So like the first one, he wanted to be a writer. He wanted to write a story, write a book, and he wanted to meet his favorite author, Stephen King.
Ah.
So we have him meet Stephen King and they write their book and now we're going on. See, the thing is we have 74,
I believe.
written,
Yeah.
but now Danny is illustrating them one by one.
The next one is Count Fangula learns fire safety.
Yes.
Nice.
And it's all kinds of things, like it goes to the dentist, and it's one of them is like Count Fangula asks what is death. Things that are prominent to kids, they want to know, and parents might feel uncomfortable answering the questions or whatever, and we kind of just go there.
Yeah.
I love that concept though, because you're taking it and you're putting it to a medium that children can actually enjoy and not, necessarily, and it doesn't make the parents uncomfortable to have to answer these questions.
Right. And at the same time, it's making it fun for them, for the kids. I mean, one of the what we call them episodes. One of the book episodes is it's okay to be different because all his friends are monsters and they're all different.
They're
and
all
get
different.
along fine.
Yeah.
So what's the big deal?
See, and that is such a great concept. I love that. So what other books you guys have written? I know you guys got the Count Fangula series going on, and you guys also have several books out about paranormal investigation and other aspects.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, there's a few.
I think we're at number 12.
We're at number 10 released. We've got 10
released.
Yeah.
One of them's right here.
Yep. That was our first book.
And I can tell you, anyone out there who's just starting out in the paranormal, this actually is a great read.
Thank you. It's kind of one of those things where it was like intro to paranormal investigating. There's been tons of them out there that are done, but we kind of wanted to enforce, we call it the rule of 3: respect the people you're with, respect the place you're at, and respect the things that you're trying to talk to that you can't see.
Exactly.
Yes.
Very important, no matter what you're doing or who you're doing it with. It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
And to let people know that, because there's a lot of people right now that want to get into it and want to learn about the paranormal, but all that's available that they usually see are the things on TV and things like, and it's nothing like that.
No.
We always try to say it's like fishing. You never know what you're going to get.
Yep.
Some nights you'll have nothing. Sometimes you'll get a nibble.
Yeah.
It's just like fishing.
Yeah.
When I've had people ask me, because I've been doing this for 18 years, come July 6th, I've been doing this for 18 years. And when I had people ask me, what's investigating the paranormal like? I was like, picture yourself sitting in a dark room for 8 hours, talking to thin air, hoping something happens. That's what it's like.
Right.
Exactly.
And you may not know something happened for another couple of days when you go over the footage.
Exactly.
You know?
Like, oh, so what about what I see on TV? I see all this stuff on Ghost Adventures. I said, first off, ignore Zach Bagans.
Right.
Ignore him. But it's just funny to me that people have this common misconception about how paranormal activities that it happens constantly because of these the way that the television shows push it.
Yeah, it's so instant. And like I'll have people ask me, hey, on that you went on that investigation last night. It's now like 6 hours, 8 hours past the investigation the next morning. So what'd you get? It's like I don't know. We recorded for 8 hours on 3 different cameras and audio. So that's 8 times 4 that we have to go over minute by minute, second by second.
Yep.
So it's time consuming.
Yeah.
People don't realize the analysis of the evidence is insane. Because if you've got 5 recorders running for 8 hours in different spots, that's exponential math on hours. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's insane. And Herbie, I did see your question, and to answer that question of how long should a paranormal investigation last, I'm going to leave that to you guys, and then I'll give you my response.
What do you think, Lauren? What's your? I have an idea. Basically, for me, it's it depends on the property. If it's a multiple roomed place, we'll tend to do like 15 minutes in each room, and then just keep going back and forth, just keep rotating, kind of deal. So that way it's not getting
Mhm.
stale, it's not getting drawn out, it's not wasting the energies, and it's keeping it fresh as well for us. And just throughout the night, just keep bumping around. And that's, what do you think, Lauren?
Yeah, it's pretty much what we
try
do.
to
Yeah.
I mean,
It depends. It depends on the property. It depends on the people who have called you in. If it's an older couple, 3-4 hours might be
pushing
enough.
Yeah, they might be pushing it. Yeah.
So I guess it depends on the location.
Yeah.
And okay, so you guys literally answered exactly how I was going to answer, almost to the T. So, because I was going to say it depends on the location that you're at and whether or not the residents have a place to stay overnight. If they do and they're comfortable with it, then obviously you want to stay overnight, get as much as you can.
Yep.
But say they have kids who have to go to school, they can't go somewhere overnight, then however long they allow you to stay at the property.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of logistics to it, I guess you could say.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
It's wild, but that's why we kind of put that book out there. So it was like, and we always tell people, and I think it's even in the book, if you have any questions, contact us.
Yeah.
Feel free to contact us.
Mhm.
There are no stupid questions because no one has the answers. If we have the answers, then the book wouldn't be there.
Yep.
Oh no, I feel like I've asked you some pretty stupid ones in my time, Danny.
Nah, no stupid questions.
Well,
So how can everybody get in touch with you guys?
www.theradikals.org or helpme@theradikals.org
And it's Radikals spelt with a K.
with a K.
That website will take you to everything we do, all the
Mhm.
branches and all the little side ventures we have. But helpme@theradikals.org is our email. And the website will tell you all kinds of stuff. It's just crazy. It's growing every day.
Every day.
So is there any particular event that you guys are going to be attending this year that you're specifically looking forward to?
Oh, goodness me.
And it's not necessarily because of the people. Maybe it's an event you've not attended yet. Just you're really looking forward to it for whatever reason.
I mean, we have the one in July in Waterbury, Connecticut.
Yeah.
I'll see you there.
That one's going to be great. We also have the one up in Maine, the Maine Paranormal
Is that November?
No,
September.
September. Believe
I'm
me,
horrible
it's September.
I'm
I'll
horrible
see
with
you there.
dates and names. Cool.
But we're also going to be speaking at a local library.
We tend to like to do the libraries.
Yeah.
It's free for people to come in. We'll bring some of our items. We'll talk about it. We'll spend a couple hours with them, answer their questions one-on-one. It's just very personal, and people seem to really like that. And, and we're trying to focus on that this fall. Is do like a library tour.
Yep.
See, and that's something that I was approached about by my local library here. They found out that I do paranormal stuff because I go in all the time wearing my paranormal gear, my rather be ghost hunting shirt. They know who I am. They follow me on TikTok, and they asked me if I would be interested in coming in and doing their annual tours for their haunted history in October.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yes.
Do it.
I mean, I know a lot about the building. It was built in 1827. There's been 7 deaths in the building.
See, you've already got it done. You've already got all the investigating done.
Exactly.
Tell the stories, man. You got it.
So
You do.
I feel like it would be fun. I feel like it'd be fun to do.
It's
Yes,
a
you
lot
do.
of fun. You're gonna have a blast. And the thing is, they're gonna have a blast and they're gonna remember it.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's the main thing is like, my town is a very historic town. There's not a single building downtown that does not have a historic marker.
Oh wow.
Very old. Matter of fact, a 5-minute walk from where I'm sitting right now, there's an old abandoned scythe mill. There used to be a bobbin mill before it was a scythe mill. So that mill actually produced 70% of the scythes that were used to clear the Panama Canal.
Oh, geez.
It's got a lot of interesting history to it. I love going and walking around that place. I do it at least once a month.
Oh wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's open to go in there and walk around as long as you don't deface anything. They do have cameras in there.
Exactly.
Yes.
Respect.
Which I don't deface properties anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Even if I go to a location and I see something that I want to bring home, I ask the location owners, It's
Right.
like it could be a rock. It could be whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, can I
Yeah.
take this
Yeah.
rock home just as
Yep.
a a memento.
Yeah.
Yep. I know, Danny. It's almost like somebody else we know.
Who's that?
Adam.
Right?
Yeah.
Historically haunted.
Historically haunted.
Well,
Yeah.
I love my history.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
So don't we.
it's just amazing some of the stuff that you can find that exists. Like I know that the reason that the Scythe Mill closed down was half of the Opera House downtown burnt down, and they repurposed the bricks from the Scythe Mill to rebuild the Opera House.
jeez.
Oh wow.
And the Opera House actually was one of the original jails in the town. There's 3 jail cells in the basement of the Opera House.
History on top of history.
Yes.
It is.
Wow.
And that's actually, I've investigated there 3 times now with Adam Berry from Kindred Spirits.
Very cool.
Oh,
love
very
that.
cool.
I love that place. It's an amazing place. If my Paracon goes off without a hitch as it's supposed to in October, I'm hoping you guys can come and attend. Your vendor tables are on me, so you don't have to worry about that.
Oh my
Thank you. If we and
Yeah.
we're trying to keep October open. It's usually gets booked really quick, but we'll be
does.
there, man. We'll be
Yeah.
there.
It does.
We'll
But
all I'm waiting.
Danny
all I'm
surprised
waiting-
me.
Oh,
Well, instead of we usually stick around for
yes, yes,
Halloween, but this year Danny for our anniversary got us a weekend up in Vermont,
yeah, Vermont.
New
Nice.
York,
It's at a
Skane-
haunted castle.
Skane Mansion.
Skane Manor. Yeah.
interesting.
Skane
Yeah, so
Manor.
the only-
Skane
Skane-
Manor.
The
Oh,
only the only thing I'm waiting on right now is the producer of the event to get me an exact date. Otherwise than that,
That's awesome.
The Opera House said they're good with it. All that good stuff. I've got right now 25 guests and I think 18 vendors, which I could fit 35 vendors comfortably downstairs. So,
Oh wow.
that'd be a blast.
Oh yeah.
And it's
but guys,
it's
I see we got about a
you're
minute.
pushing. Okay.
I'm trying. I'm trying. But this is the same guy that produces Adam Berry's events there, so I'm relatively
awesome.
sure we can get something hooked up. But I see we're
Okay.
running about a minute left, guys. I don't want to keep you guys too much over. So obviously, you said you could find you earlier on your website. What events are you guys going to be attending this year? Like, where can guys find you? I know you guys have TikTok, so push all your socials.
We have Facebook, we have TikTok.
And again, all the links for that are the radikals.org. Everything we put
Yes.
everything in that one hub, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, everything. So that way it's just easier. Just the
Yep.
one place to go to find everything we're doing. We've got about 4 books that we're still working on now that we're going to be releasing over the year. A couple that are
Mhm.
like late putting them out, but
Yeah.
it's coming. Everything's coming. We just don't have the time.
So is your guys' merch available on that site as well?
The merch is available mostly when we vend. We're in the process of putting the shopping cart on the website now.
Yes.
Okay.
And hopefully, and everything will be in there very shortly. Hopefully, I do all this myself when it comes to web design and all that stuff.
I know
I have
you're
actually-
you're a freaking entrepreneur.
I literally at this moment I've been awake now for 36 hours, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's like I got off of work this morning, just been going, and so it's like, yeah, we'll get there. We're gonna get it done.
So guys, we've reached that hour mark. This is a great conversation. Thank you guys so much for
Yes.
coming on and spending an hour with me.
Thank you for having
Thank you.
us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
No, I would love to have you guys back at another point in time, maybe mid early next year, maybe I'm thinking.
You just
Sure.
say the time and date, and we're there.
Awesome. That sounds great, guys. You wouldn't mind just hanging around. We'll have a little post discussion. And everyone, thank the Radikals for coming on the show. That was the Paranormal
Yes.
Unveiled this week. And I
Thank
hope
you guys for
enjoyed it.
watching.
Yes, thank you.
Has it ended?